And it's often the arts and creativity that can subvert powers and that can challenge this kind of injustice. So we're going to think a little bit about that today as we kind of continue our chat together. We're gonna read from the Bible in a few moments, but before we do that, Matt, we wanted to ask you the question right off the bat. We're thinking about creativity tonight. Like, what is creativity as you see it?
I think the way I like to think about creativity is that is to simplify it right down, and that is that the creativity is simply putting something out into the world that wasn't there before. I think a lot of the time we associate creativity with art, with music, with theater, with dance, with the arts, and absolutely there is a deep connection between those. But creativity is also broader than that, and I think that's really helpful for us because I mean, we'll talk about this more, I'm sure, but I deeply believe that we are all creative, but we're not all necessarily artists, and that's okay. Yeah, that's kind of where I would sit on it.
Yeah, it's really helpful, and I feel like as we begin tonight, we just want to name that because I remember, we should get some violins playing for this bit. I remember at school, like really enjoying art and like drawing and just messing around with the materials really, and I always wanted to try all like the different materials that they were, like the kind of clay and what are those like pencil things that are like anyway, the
Charcoal.
What, sorry?
Charcoal.
Charcoal. I love like doing all that stuff, but what I produced was, to be honest, crap. And I remember getting like a D or a C in technology and art and just feeling like, well, I'm not creative, like that's me done now. Like I don't get to do that stuff, and that's for people like you, Matt, or for people like yourselves, Ewan. And that's not what we're saying tonight, right?
Oh, see, I find, I think your story is like insanely common, and also like deeply frustrating, because what you were wrestling with there was not creativity. It was the skill, like it was the craft, it was the tool that you were working out a relationship with. It had nothing to do with the creativity, the creative moment that was happening for you. And yet those things often in school, often as kids, those things get linked together, and then we go, yeah. Look, if creativity was only to be described as kind of linked with interpretive dance, then I would deem myself not creative very, very quickly. But that's just one skill and one expression, and it can be paired with anything. Yeah.